All right, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. Another live show coming right your way. For those that are new here, my name's Robert O'Keefe. I'm the creator and founder of Over 55 NJ. I'm a New Jersey real estate broker. And what we do is we help people make educated decisions when it comes to downsizing, planning ahead, and eventually downsizing and creating a great solution for themselves. So we have a very exciting topic for you today. We invite you to go to our website at over55nj.homes, or you could go to over55nj.com and just start getting some ideas of certain listings, start getting ideas of certain neighborhoods. Our site's location based, so you can create an account for free and start saving listings that's very detailed and very organized and niche down to people like yourself that are downsizing, planning the next move. So today we're going to talk about the items in your home. So it's not uncommon people reach out to us and just don't know where to start when it comes to downsizing. A lot of people have been in the home for many years, 10, 20, we see as much as 30, 40 years in some cases. And it kind of gets just like a bit overwhelming, not just physically, but ultimately mentally, because this has been your whole life. You've pretty much have known nothing else for the past 10, 20, 30 years, which is a long time. So a lot of times it's like difficult to figure out where to start, not just physically, but on the mental side of things. But there's a great quote that I always loved, that the hardest part of the journey is the first step. So that being said, it just kind of makes sense just to go step by step and even just take that first step, even if it's an itty bitty small one. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So, we're going to talk about downsizing with the family in mind, what to do with your possessions, how to have some of these conversations, and start to make a game plan. So, the first thing is the problem. So, downsizing isn't just about the space, it's the history of the home, like we talked about. It's about kind of like the mental load. It's mostly sometimes about all the stuff that people have in the home. So, not uncommon for people just not to know where to start when it comes to kind of like thinking about what to do, what to take with them, and where to go and where to start from. So, our site's a great resource to get some ideas, but like, what do you do with the things in your house? Um, and where do you go and where do you start and how do you start to put these things away? What do you take with you? We're gonna give you kind of like a roadmap and an outline today that you may consider. And just because we say it doesn't mean it's gospel. These are just ideas. So we encourage you to plug it into what your situation is and plug it into how you operate and how you like to learn. And if you'd like to reach out to us to discuss too, we can make a plan together. You could just go to over55nj.chat and schedule a time to speak to us. Completely no pressure and no rush consultation. And we can start talking through some plans. So if you have any questions, if you want to just drop something in the comments, any questions, feel free to do so. So, the first thing to do is to have clear, early conversations about expectations. So, many of these conversations involve other people. Sometimes it involves adult children, sometimes it involves spouses. The key is to kind of like have these conversations early and get on the same page. There's a great series that I've watched a couple times through called Parenthood. It was on ABC. I think it's on Hulu now if you want to rewatch it. And there's a character who's an adult child, and he's talking to his mother about selling the house, and he has all these opinions, and they kind of get into a riff about it. His name's Crosby. Um, and Crosby's kind of like a screw up, and his mother kind of puts him in his place and just kind of tells him what's what. But just kind of like a funny portrayal of how someone could have an opinion of what his mother could do with the house, what she can't do, even though this person was obviously the person that raised him. And she's doing a lot for the family. Like, you have to watch the series. It's really entertaining, nice, easy watch. But this kind of these conversations happen all the time. And what we're going to do is we're going to give you some guide points and some waypoints on how to navigate them. The first thing is to have a clear expectation and start to have clear, easy conversations about what you want to do and where you want to take this. So, the best thing to do is always be very direct. Ask directly, are these items that are meaningful for you? Are these things that you realistically take or keep with you? There's a lot of those. And then sometimes you just have to be super honest with yourself. And three is, do you have space for larger items like furniture? Sometimes your children, other people may want certain pieces in your house, and that makes things easier. But the key is to have these conversations early and start to get everyone on the same page. I'm listing a house right now, and during the home inspection, it turns out that the gentleman that we're selling the house for is not going to take some of his belongings to the assisted living facility. So he's going to give some away to the buyer. But this is a good example. If you got on the same page early with some of your family members, you could have sold this maybe on Facebook Marketplace, could have donated these furniture places. The buyer will happily accept them. But by having a plan in place, sometimes you can make use and create some value out of these pieces that you may not have thought were valuable. So the key is getting on the same page, start having conversations early, and start being very direct and kind of get everything out and make a clear plan and put the plan on paper. One thing we recommend too is having a Google Doc. And as you go through some things, make a list. My generation with our spreadsheets, we like spreadsheets. Spreadsheets are a great thing with this, just to stay organized. Because if you don't write it down, you're going to forget, at least in my case. So just write everything down and make a clear plan. Now, number two is create a simple system for storing belongings. So, as you know, in our company, we're very organized and very system based. We love systems, we love outlines, all sorts of these things. So, we recommend having a few piles. One is to keep, one is to offer to family, another is to donate or discard, and then focus first items such as non-sentimental items, duplicate items. Those are things that are easy to throw away. We were working with someone downsizing one time, and they had about five of the nail clippers in one drawer. Sometimes people just can't get rid of things for whatever reason. So if you have duplicate items like that, if you have other duplicate items, those are easy things just to discard. And things, of course, you no longer use. This is a great time to start getting ahead of things. We have a great list of resources of companies that will come to your house and take your belongings for donation. Makes things super easy. So if you want that list, just feel free to reach out to us or just write on the comments below, and we'll be happy to start working with you and start kind of like working with you and talking you through this process. Doesn't happen overnight. So definitely recommend starting early. And you can always reach out to us anytime. We'd love to hear from you. So create a simple system like that. And you'll be surprised once you get on the same page with people and your family members, you'll be surprised how much easier it is. And you'll be surprised the helping hands you'll get. And you'll be surprised how many things people would want that you just don't need anymore. So, getting things out of the house, decluttering will feel great. Even if you decide not to move 1, 2, even 5 years from now, you're going to have a much more organized and cleaner space. And that's always a benefit. Now, the last thing is to focus on legacy, not just possessions. We tend to hold on to things that are not valuable anymore. It's a very psychological and human trait. We were listing a house where the seller was just going everything and going through the chandelier she bought years ago, a plant that she had years ago that was massive. This thing was impressive. I'll have to show you a picture of it sometime. But this plant was over 20 years old and extending up into the stairwell. But stuff like that, sometimes they're not a value to us anymore. And you just want to be cognizant of that when it comes to holding on to some things. So when you focus on legacy, not just possessions, there's other ways to honor the legacy of that item. One is you could take pictures, you could save any artwork. Artwork's pretty easy because it can go on the wall of your new residence. But you might want to consider passing down a few meaningful items instead of everything. Taking photos of the sentimental objects too, just keeping that as a keepsake. You can keep that on your iPhone, and then sharing stories about certain pieces. Sometimes things are valuable and sometimes things are not. But if they mean something to you, you should probably find a way just to keep it with you in some case, or pass it on to a family member if they want it. Everybody's different. That's what makes this process very exciting. So these are all things to think about. But we'll give you a good plan. If you want a free checklist on what to do and how to start getting some things ready, feel free to reach out to us. We have those planning worksheets for you. And feel free to reach out to us anytime with any questions on this. So kind of a personal topic, everybody's different. Like I said, some people hold on to everything. Some people are minimalists and their houses are very bare. They don't have a lot of possessions, but it really just depends on you. And these are just some good things to think about and some good things to like start to get ready. the benefit is like you could really just clean out, really have a very organized house, but at least have a very good plan and start having conversations early with your family members, with your loved ones about this downsizing process. So even if you're not ready just right away to move, which is very common for most of the consumers that come through our website, these are great things to get in place and good things to get organized about. So, that being said, we'd love to hear from you at your convenience. We'd love to answer all your questions and always serve as a guiding resource for you. Our email address is over55nj at gmail.com. Our website is over55nj.homes. We're doing some hard work on that to build it out to help and more robust with information so you can continue doing your research. And always lean on us. We're always happy to talk to you. We're always happy to answer your questions. We'd love to hear from you at your convenience, and we'll see you soon on the next video. If you want a topic that you would like covered, feel free to reach out. Reach out to us at over55nj@gmail.com or just send us a message. And we're happy to do the research because I guarantee you other people will have this question like yourself. So make it a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Have a great day.